let's get something straight. Saying iba ang paniniwala sa naniwala is just noise. It's a distraction. It is not a point. It is a dodge. That kind of wordplay, siguro gagana yan sa isang late night na tambayan sa isang coffee shop. But pag nag-uusap po tayo about truth, reality, and what we have good reason to believe, useless po yung paniniwala at paniwala. You say, naniniwala ako na may Diyos at dahil dyan mali ang mga atheist na hingan ako ng ebidensya kasi paniniwala ko lang ito. At espiritu naman ng Diyos, kaya hindi ko kayo mabibigyan ng ebidensya. Okay, but what you've just admitted is this. Your paniniwala isn't based on evidence, reason, or anything we can investigate. Siguro gagana po yan sa church or sa prayer group na rason, but not in any serious conversation about what's true about the real world. Now, nagets ko naman ito. Some people say na belief ko lang ito. Parang paniniwala lang na magiging successful ang negosyo ko someday. Pareho lang. Sige, pwede po. Let's talk about that. Because yes, they're both paniniwala, but they are not the same kind of belief. Believing that this business I'm starting up will become successful or profitable is also kind of faith, yes. But it's a belief about the future. A prediction based on planning, effort, market research, maybe past experience. Even if you don't have the result yet, there's usually some basis, something to point to, something we can test later. It's a belief grounded in reality, and you're just waiting for confirmation. So when someone says, I don't have evidence now because this will happen in the future, that makes sense naman. Because the evidence is expected to come. And when it comes, we'll know if the belief was right or wrong. That kind of belief is testable. It's open to success or failure. Pero yung God exists, yung believing na God exists, mayroong Diyos or may naglikha, that's not about something that might happen. It's a claim that something is already real, right now, everywhere. It's not a future goal. Di naman po yung future goal like the business. It's not a forecast. It's a truth claim about current reality. Yan po yung difference. Both are paniniwala, yes. But only one is based on something we can actually look at, measure, and eventually prove or disprove, which is yung business. So yan lang po yung ang only one na paniniwala sa dalawang binigay ko na example na based sa something we can actually investigate and eventually prove or disprove. Yung isa, yung paniniwala sa Diyos, it's just a paniniwala with no way to tell if it's true or false. And if you admit there's no evidence, you're also admitting it doesn't meet the standard we use for every other important claim in life. And if you say something exists right now but you don't have evidence, that's not a minor issue. That's a fundamental problem. You're not just waiting for confirmation like someone making a prediction. You've made a claim about reality and you've skipped the part where you prove it. Now, to be fair, if you're honest enough to say na I'm not trying to convince anyone, this is just my personal belief, okay, that's, yeah, tama ka naman po. You're right mo din naman yan. But the moment you join a conversation about truth, about what is real, or what should influence society, laws, and morality, then your belief is no longer just personal. It's in the arena now. And in that arena, claims need reasons. Beliefs need evidence. Otherwise, you're not contributing to the search for truth. You're just sharing an opinion. And look, there's nothing wrong with holding personal beliefs. Wala namang mali doon. You're free to believe Elvis Presley is still alive. And as absurd as that sounds, I'm not out here demanding congressional hearings about it. Because that belief, ridiculous as it is, doesn't control government policy, dictate people's sex lives, or oppress women and queer folks through centuries of religious doctrine. But belief in a God, that belief comes with an entire machine. Religion, money, power, control, influence, laws. That belief affects everyone, including people who don't share it, including people like me. So yeah, it's absolutely logical, necessary even, to ask for evidence. And here's the kicker. If you don't have evidence and all you got is paniniwala, then I have every right, every moral and intellectual obligation to reject your claim. Not because I know there is no God, but because you haven't given me a single good reason to think there is one. If your belief makes claims about the universe, about what's real, or about how others should live their lives, then saying I don't want to convince anyone doesn't change the fact that it's still a truth claim. And truth claims have standards. So if you're not offering evidence and you're not interested in whether others believe it or not, fine. But let's be clear, that belief is personal, private, and has no weight in public or philosophical discussions until it can be backed up. We atheists are not saying we know there's no God. No. What we are saying is very simple. You haven't met your burden of proof. Maybe you're not educated enough to make a coherent argument. Maybe the tools don't exist yet to confirm or deny the supernatural. Fine. We're open to new information. Bring it. Let's test it. Let's investigate. If you want us to believe, give us a good reason. Give us something to work with. Don't walk into a conversation about truth with nothing but belief, then act like you've made a meaningful contribution. You haven't. Belief without evidence isn't a pathway to truth. It's a pathway to delusion. And if you care, if you actually care about what's true, then you'll start demanding more from your beliefs than just paniniwala. Because until then, you're not in the conversation. You're just talking to yourself.